federal judge just moments ago found that the Department of Homeland Security has been making arrests in Los Angeles immigration raids without probable cause. So she is ordering the department to stop detaining individuals based solely on race, spoken language, or occupation. This is a major decision for the state of California, which has been at the epicenter of a lot of these immigration raids in the last couple of days. And it also comes after the Trump administration has explicitly said that those are the reasons that they might stop and detain, actually arrest people just because they're working at a Home Depot, maybe because they are speaking Spanish, or because they look like they are undocumented. What do you think?
So what the judge, really took the government to task. What I'm quoting, what the federal government would have this court believe in the face of a mountain of evidence presented in this case is that none of this is actually happening. None of what you just described is actually happening. So she basically is calling the government lawyers liars, which when you're an attorney is the worst thing that could happen to you. And she's basically saying there needs to be more due process before you could carry out the acts that you're carrying out. And you can't come and tell me, oh, we're not doing that, because there's quote unquote a mountain of evidence that shows that you are doing it.
Holman was on Fox News this morning and said as much, exactly what this was about, and said that we're going after people who look like criminals. That could be me. I'm brown, and if I'm not wearing my nice sports coat, I'll look kind of shady. That's not how America's supposed to be built. I'll also need to say that after this raid yesterday, that there was a farm worker. We don't know yet their documentation status, but they died. They died because they were getting chased through the fields. Folks who are picking our food. We should be disgusted by this.
Well, look, you know, what you're talking about, I've heard and know people who've had experiences in parts of the country where they are American citizens, and because they are of Hispanic origin and or speak Spanish, have been stopped and have had their citizenship questioned. In this case, the consequences are not just questioning. ICE is detaining people, and in this lawsuit, one of the allegations was that some of the people were being denied counsel, that they're not being given an opportunity promptly to prove that they shouldn't be detained. And that's essentially the crux of the matter here.
Yeah, look, the goal should be to arrest and deport illegal immigrants. I mean, again, this is a clash between, I think, some federal judges and who want to slow down the administration, an administration that wants to move fast on this. You know, the goal should always be to deport people who've broken our laws. Politically, Arthur's the lawyer, but politically what the administration's trying to do is fulfill the president's campaign promise that he ran on and won, which was, look, I'm going to end this crisis. I am going to take care of this problem. Nobody wants to deal with it. I'm going to deal with it. In the case of this California raid everybody's talking about, you said pick our food. Wasn't it a marijuana farm, and weren't there illegal child migrants there, like child labor? The feds go interrupt a marijuana farm with illegal child labor and people are upset about it. Look, I think there's two sides to this story. Some of this aggressive enforcement may be warranted.
So let me just add a little bit of detail to what we're talking about here. This raid in California at two different ones that really resulted in a lot of violence. One person was killed, several others critically injured, according to the United Farm Workers. Let me just read for you, actually, do I have their statement? Yes, let me read for you their statement. It says, the UFW can confirm farm workers were critically injured yesterday in the chaotic raids in Ventura County. Others, including U.S. citizens, remain totally unaccounted for. Many workers, including U.S. citizens, were held by federal authorities at the farm for 8 hours or more. U.S. citizen workers report only being released after they were forced to delete photos and videos of the raid from their phones. NBC actually talked to one of those individuals who was a supervisor at this farm, and who said that they were assaulted and handcuffed when he asked ICE agents for an arrest warrant. As for the children, I don't know that we've really confirmed their status, documented or not, but a lot of people don't know. It's true that in agriculture in this country, it is legal for children to work there, children sometimes as young as 12. So that's the exception that the agricultural industry has. And if these children were undocumented, it just goes to show the economics of this. Yes. Which we've talked about before. The economics of this have been to the benefit of the agricultural industry, of the meatpacking industry, of these other industries, and the people who are being chased around in the fields really are they're the only ones facing consequences
Right.
from this.
And that's what I wonder, like the people who are employing some of these undocumented immigrants are not getting prosecuted. Moreover, marijuana is legal in the state of California, so we shouldn't present that like it's something nefarious. I take issue with a little something you said, Chuck. You said without your jacket, or without your hat, you might look shady. Shady to whom? Who gets to decide who looks shady? That is precisely my point.
That was my point.
So the fact that we are even discussing as though it is a normal thing for a government agency to kidnap people without due process. If this person is not a citizen, then nor am I. Who is to stop somebody from coming to grab me and say, well, we don't think you're a citizen? If I don't have due process, my friend Elsa, her son is born here in America. He was detained by ICE. And when you look at the crime overall, undocumented immigrants are the least likely to commit crime. That has been well documented by our own law enforcement agents, and this sets a dangerous precedent. CNN's own reporting has cited at least 3 incidents of people dressing as ICE agents and attempting to kidnap people. And once we say this is okay, because it's not going to stop until some white girl gets confiscated or some white girl gets kidnapped, then all of a sudden the lives who really matter, then we'll say, oh, it's a problem, but you've already told these agencies they can act like that. We've seen people kidnapped from hospital beds. We've seen mothers who are the sole caregivers for children's cancer get kidnapped. It is not okay. It's like we're waiting for this administration to cross some invisible line into fascism that has been crossed a long time ago.
I think President Trump's goal and what he campaigned on and what he would like to achieve in an idealistic world is finding the people who are here illegally, especially the ones who are committing crimes or have committed crimes, whether in the United States of America or in their home countries, and eliminating them. He's a New Yorker, Donald Trump. We're in a kitchen. He knows who controls the kitchens in the back of the best restaurants in the city of New York. A lot of undocumented people. He has said on the record already that in the fields and in agriculture, we need a lot of these people. These people disappear, we're in trouble.
But they've also rolled that back, I mean, they have walked some of that back. And I would also add that that's not what Trump is doing. He is arresting people by some accounts. Maybe more than half of the people that have been detained by ICE so far that have no criminal record. So that we know that that's happening. And just on the politics of this for a second, the Gallup had a pretty blockbuster poll today because they've been looking at this issue obviously for a very long time, and they have some comparative data. And what they have found is that Trump has not made immigration less popular. He's not made a pathway of citizenship less popular. He's made them more popular. So now 78% of Americans say they support a pathway to citizenship for immigrants who are here illegally. That's up 7 points from last year. Now, Americans say they want more immigration, not less immigration. Now, Americans say they want less border patrol agents, not more.
But is that legal immigration or illegal immigration?
What are you talking about?
It's a pathway to
hold on.
citizenship.
Let me read it again. 70% back a year ago supported a pathway to citizenship for immigrants who are in the U.S. illegally. That number is now 78%.
But does that mean put them at the front of the line or the back of the line? Do they have to?
There ain't no line.
Hey,
There just ain't no line.
You can decide.
Because there are people trying to come here illegally. They came here illegally.
Hold on a second. You can decide whether it's the front of the line or the back of the line.
It matters.
I think, yeah, but the point is, Donald Trump is basically carrying out a policy that says any individual who is here illegally, in an undocumented status, is liable to be detained and deported. Some of them with process, some of them without. And a majority of Americans, almost 80%, say we should give them a path to citizenship.
Look, I think it depends on how you ask these questions.
I mean, this question has been asked the same way. That's the reason I want to use this poll, is because this question has been asked the same way over time, and that's one of the only ways that we can make sure that we're looking at the same thing over time.
But I think there's a difference between people who came here illegally, broke the law, knowingly did that, versus people who want to legally come here and are going through the process that does take a long time. I don't know why you would take a population that broke the laws and put them at the front instead of putting them behind people who are trying to follow the correct process. Regarding more immigration, I think most Americans are fine with immigration. Legal immigration. legal immigration, illegal immigration, and the chaos that's come from it from the last 4 years, that's what they have a problem.
Let me break down some of these numbers for you. We're doing focus groups in battleground states right now, asking this exact same question. What we're seeing almost overall is there's a group of folks who, when you ask them, do you think that undocumented immigrants who commit crime should be deported? And everybody, Democrats, independents, everybody's like, sure, as long as there's some process and they're here and they broke the law, absolutely. What they're really recoiling from and what you're seeing in this poll and I'm seeing in focus groups are Jose down the street who's been here for 20 years, or somebody that's picking your food, or somebody who did come here, quote unquote, undocumented or illegal, who they didn't say, I didn't sign up for this. And you don't see a giant movement. You see a movement over time now since the first of the year, a movement about 10 points in the stuff that we're doing.